Here's Mewtwo. Look at him sitting there contemplating the city. That's what I'd do if I was him. Sit there and think about the city. My Stream Elements link that's promoting my YouTube channels has been busted for a while, and I keep forgetting to mess with it. Like, now that I have two channels, so I have, this is my, you know, if this goes in the video, right, this will be my Pokemon channel, but I also have, my main channel is a Hearthstone channel. And so I switched, there's a bot in my Twitch chat that periodically promotes my YouTube channel. And I wanted that bot to then give a link for both YouTubes now that I have two. And for some reason it can't handle it. It like puts me, no matter what I do, it puts the like, it says Hearthstone : and then it gives a link, and then I have Pokemon : and it gives a link. But for some reason, no matter how I set it up, it refuses to not just put Pokemon : as part of the initial link. So I think I need to put it on two separate timers. My opponent's got 4 heads on their Zapdos coin flips 2 times in a row. Oh my goodness, they sound so talented. Wish I could do that. Wish I could draw Curlia. My opponent should red card me. That's my opinion. At least my opponent's not doing a lot of damage, aren't they? Like, I didn't even think about the fact that they don't have anything on the bench. Okay. Well. Guess let's start chipping away at that Pikachu. Boop. This Pikachu should consider running more bench Pokemon. That's my opinion. Watch them just drop 3 basics right now. That would be the debate of all time. How do they have 3 billion cards in hand but no bench Pokemon? Isn't it weird? I think it's super weird. Do they have the second potion? 40 damage. They're still never knocking out Mewtwo next turn. So I think we're just good. Oh, hey Curlia. Just in time. Just in time to not matter. I mean, it might still matter later. But like... just in time to not speed up my side drive. Okay, I was gonna be like, are they really gonna retreat Lieutenant Surge and end my career on the spot right now? That'd be brutal. Potion does keep me from being able to just Psychic Spear that away. So I think that's worth it. Are they gonna send me up a sacrificial Pincurchin? Do you... Obviously you send up the Pikachu EX to get knocked out when I Submarina here, right? Pretty sure. Because, like, you need the Raichu to knock things out, but then if you use those energies to knock out the Mewtwo EX, you fall so behind afterwards. But if you send up the Raichu, you can't knock out the Mewtwo ever. So, like, not a good spot for our friend opponent. And since we got to use the energy on our benched Mewtwo, we will definitely be able to attack next turn, even if the Mewtwo EX gets knocked out. So that'll be good. How's Martian been feeling about both YouTube channels? The Hearthstone one has been very easy to maintain with very low amount of time outside of streaming. So like, it's been easy to kind of, I've been able to put more effort into the Pokemon videos. I think I need to start trying to do more like non-gameplay Pokemon videos for the Poke channel, because like the Poke channel definitely needs to grow for me to keep doing it, right? Like I've been kind of thinking like I need to do a series of more non-gameplay videos to see how that goes, and I need, like, I've been also giving it until more cards come out, right? Because right now the meta is very narrow and more items might change that, and I'm giving it until ranked, right? Because like without ranked, it's kind of like there's less inspiration for people to want to watch gameplay. So I have a couple more things to try before I give up on it, but like if it doesn't improve, you know, it's not worth the time. My opponent is playing the Bulbasaur deck. That's something. All right, now I have a couple of Mewtwo's, which is perfect for those of us that want to have a couple of Mewtwo's. Next turn, I don't know that I'm gonna... I'll probably knock out the Caterpie if I can. Like, if they don't evolve it, I'll probably just knock out Caterpie. But if they evolve it... Oh. I was gonna say, if they evolve it, do I just, like, start working on the Ivysaur? I think the answer is probably yes. Now I'm wondering why they retreated. Like, wouldn't you rather Metapod soak the hit? And then... I guess you'd have to retreat it as a Butterfree. Huh. This seems like a strange decision to me. It also helps because, like, Mewtwo can't one-shot Venusaur, right? I need chip damage. So, like, being able to get in some chip damage in the meantime seems really strong. That Caterpie is actually pretty good. Too bad the Grass-type EXs are both really bad. The Grass-type EXs just don't have... Like, Exeggutor is bad because its damage output is bad. Venusaur isn't bad. It's, like... I mean, it's bad with the context, I guess, but, like, making that EX better isn't the solve. What you need to do is give Grass the same energy acceleration that other types have. So like it just doesn't have support. It's not really that it's bad. Like I think the Venusaur EX is actually pretty good, especially considering how strong this deck and the Pikachu deck are, and they don't one-shot it, right? So you can like heal a ton. Is 100 low for the signature attack? It's low if you only think about it in the context of a Pokemon dealing the most damage it can for the least amount of energy, but that's not all the attack does, right? Venusaur has an enormous amount of health, a supporter that heals for a ton, and an attack that heals it too. So, all those things matter. You know what else matters? The fact that I don't have... I do double potion, right? Like, I can't just risk the Giovanni. But, like, not having a Ralts here is a disaster. Maybe it's bad because I play Charizard. The deck is bad. I'm just saying that, like, what the fix to the deck, the reason that the deck is bad isn't because Venusaur EX is bad. The Venusaur EX doesn't have a Gardevoir or a Mewtwo to go with it. That's why it's bad. And yeah, it would have a rough matchup into the Charizard, but everything that doesn't one-shot the Charizard first has a bad matchup into the Charizard. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here, chat, other than lose. Like a stinky loser. We could have won if we had access to the Gardevoir, but obviously we didn't. Brutal. If we get Ralts right now. We get Ralts right now. So I can bring up Mewtwo and it could soak up an attack. Jeez, they're just healing 50 every turn. It's so much. All right, so this Mewtwo soaks an attack. We top deck Ralts. And then we can Mewtwo twice in a row. And then by that point, they've powered up their second Venusaur and it's just GG, right? This slows them down, maybe? Oh. Well, now I'm just gonna start attacking it now. If you're gonna do that. I was not expecting that. Huh. Did they just throw? I think maybe. I think it becomes a little bit tougher. Let's see, 30 and 50. I think I'm only running one. Yeah, I'm only running one Giovanni because of the Mewtwo. So if they still have a line. They still have a line. Depends what they do. Mewtwo without Gardevoir feels really bad, but I guess that is most decks without the ramp. True. True. And see, that's Venusaur all the time, right? Venusaur is all the time a deck. Okay, sick. I didn't want to say it out loud, but like, I still needed to send out. I messed up. I messed up actually. I still needed to have Baby Mewtwo active before. But I don't know. I'm in a rough spot. I think finding Gardevoir this late was not great. Yeah, it's over. It's over. Do I play Phobies? What's Phobies? Did I get the 5-win badge? No. It's impossible. Maybe Serena and see if they throw, I guess. I don't know what they could throw at that point though, because I didn't have anything like there's nothing I could trap to power up baby Mewtwo. Alright, so here's Ralts. That's not Ralts, but this is Ralts, which is great. That's great for me. Phobe's game is very nice. Well, I believe you. I believe you. Let's check it out. Phobe's. Oh, it's like an RPG? Interesting. Yeah, I haven't played it. So we're up against a Mewtwo that's running the Ghastly times. Something. I'm pretty sure this Ghastly is reused artwork. I don't remember where the Ghastly is from. A lot more cards have reused artwork than I initially thought. I keep like searching for old cards and being like, oh, that's in Pocket. Like, there's just been, I've seen too many cards over the years, chat. Like 20 years of Pokemon cards, and they don't all stick, it turns out, when they're pack filler. A lot of them do. Like, I recognized a lot of the art on these cards. It's not like I haven't, but you know, there's some like more obscure ones or from periods of the game where I wasn't as tuned in, where I discover later, oh, that's in Pocket. I feel like it's got to be like most of it, right? You like Pokemon Live? Me too. Me too. Those videos didn't do that well. Let's see. I did some videos of Live just to see how well they would do on my Pokemon channel. And I was not super appointed with the results. But then they kind of seemed to do a little better. Maybe a little bit later. Yeah, the Blissey one picked up. Blissey one's doing alright. It's doing alright. Maybe enough to do try it again. Yeah, Pokemon Live is my jam. They just double potion me? No, they single potion me. But unfortunately, single potion was enough. I don't know that this potion necessarily matters, right? Because yeah, it might matter. This attack doesn't matter. I'll watch the guy of the channel. Should I open it or should I keep it sealed? And I've seen a lot of art that I have recognized. So we have a we have a watcher in the YouTube chat whose title is Yo-Yo Mobile Gaming, and they're just listing all of the games they play. That's cool. So you're a mobile game fan, it seems. Boop. Never underestimate the power of overkill, chat. Brawl Stars. Brawl Stars is the DC Smash Brothers, isn't it? Like like Warner Brothers Smash Brothers something that's got like DC and it's got SpongeBob. Or am I mixing things up? Did the Nintendo one flop? Which one's what? Yo, Omega Mogwai coming in with a gigantic raid. How are you? How are you doing? How was the Mogwai stream? We're currently trying our darndest to get the 5-win streak thing. And the closest I've been so far is 4 wins. So we're trying to get that elusive 5th win. And I really appreciate my opponent sending up the 2 HP Pokemon here. Really makes me feel safe. OMG gets so rated? Yep. Mod got it with Weezing Arbok in one go, had 1 Wigglytuff EX in it. Oh, nice, cool, cool. Weezing Wigglytuff is what I got my second 4 win. I tried it with Misty and the water, like Starmie and Articuno deck. I got 4 wins. I tried it with Weezing Wigglytuff, got 4 wins. And here I am trying it with this. Why am I wasting my own time when I could just use this attack and win the video game? Let's go! That's a cute Bulba emote. It really is. If you're watching this in the YouTube video, you'll never know. You'll never know what it looks like. But trust me, it's cute. You're surprised Hypno doesn't see more play. Its ability seems really good. Its ability is really good. The problem with it is if you start with Drowsy, you have this like giant, like you're that far behind, right? You can't start with Drowsy because Drowsy has 2 retreat cost. If Drowsy had 1 retreat cost, then you could just X speed out of it, but you're just so far behind if you open Drowsy. Mog hates Misty. Misty is not my friend. Misty likes to get tails when I play it. I love these pics in the back, especially the game covers. Impeccable taste. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, this hand is not really doing it for me, chat. Not a fan. I could use a Ralts and a Curlia. That'd be nice for me. Don't do it. No, get tails. Come on. Just get tails. It's fine. It's fine. You don't need a heads. I don't know. No, no. Really? Gross. Chat, is our win streak already over? Are we already canceled? Disaster. Thank you, Curlia. Good to see you. You love to see the Curlia at this point in the game. Wish my opponent would red card me. Oh my goodness. Disgusting. Disgusting. Rip Martian Stew. You rip Martian Stew indeed. Yeah, this is brutal. This is brutal, chat. If they're gonna get 2 heads on Misty, I should at least be allowed a Ralts. Don't you think? Don't have X speed? Disaster. Disaster. Uninstalling. Uninstalling, chat. It's over. Not the BM. Bam, bam, bam. You like Magic Arena card game? I like Magic Arena too. I'm not gonna like. I invested in Magic Arena in 2019, right? Like I spent a lot of time playing. I spent a little bit of money, and I had like, you know, good options in standard. You know, I had a bunch of decks I could play. Then I didn't play for a couple years over COVID, and when I became interested again and went to go try it, my whole standard collection was gone, right? And they don't offer you like, it's not like Hearthstone where you have your pick of several meta decks to, you know, launch you back into the game. You get nothing if you haven't played for a while. I think you get some like crappy theme decks that aren't an actual head start back into the game, right? So I had to buy all new basic land, or all new double colored lands and stuff from scratch, and I just wasn't about to buy the game all over again, you know. So that's why I don't play Arena. Also, they have a mode that appeals to me. It's like Commander, but it isn't Commander. So I think it's 60 card deck and a commander, and they call it Brawl, which is weird because I'm used to Brawl meaning something different in Hearthstone. But anyways, so they have almost commander in that game, but it doesn't have a ladder. Like, you have to play casual mode only. It's like, it's like this game, right? Where like, this game would be more fun if it had a ranked ladder, right? Like, that's something that there's always to earn if you have a ladder. But do I Sabrina here, slow him down a skosh? I think so. It doesn't really slow them down if they have an electrode, right? So that's maybe a misplay. So yeah, I would play Arena if I didn't have to rebuy into Arena, right? Like, if I could just, you know, play. Hey, Curly Whirly. Same way for me in Marvel Contest of Champions. Hot take, Electrode should have to explode when it retreats for 0. That is a hot take. I'll give you that much. Oh, my opponent is an Eevee gamer. Is today an exclusively Pokemon Small stream, or will Pokemon Big be played as well? Probably just Pokemon Small. Pokemon Small, Pokemon Big. Pretty funny. Pretty funny, pretty funny. Alright, well, ideally, we just get to Side Sphere this Zapdos and then nuke whatever comes up next. We'll see if that plays out that way. None of the card games managed to make a fair ladder. I don't need the ladder to be fair, I just need it to exist. It's more fun to play card games when there's a reason to play them. You know, like, if you're playing with your friends, you're socializing with your friends. As a streamer, I'm talking to you guys, it's kind of fun. And if I'm playing alone, I have the number to work towards getting the number smaller. Then, like, in the early progression for this game, you have a lot to unlock, right? There are all those various missions to do, and so you had a lot to work towards. But then I ran out of those missions, and so, you know, playing only does so much for me, right? And the intricacies of the game aren't like strong enough for me to want to play them on their own merits, right? Like, it's just kind of, you play one of the good decks and then you hope that you draw the right cards at the right time. Like, you hope you don't get screwed by never seeing your Ralt or something, and that's what determines whether or not you win. Well, it's a fair ladder. I don't know. Like, it wasn't worth it for me to break down the context of that, but like, you know, for me, an enjoyable ladder is one where there are several strategies, all of which are relatively competitive, and there isn't one like omega polarizing thing that's just frustrating to like run into, I guess. So that would be an ideal ladder for me. What's my record so far? The highest I've gotten so far is 4 wins. I'm currently on a win streak of 1, which is the perfect amount if you know, you only want to win once. Any Artifact gamers in chat? I never actually tried Artifact. Have I heard about the League of Legends TCG? I have. It's kind of funny. I was lamenting that, like, pre-COVID, I was kind of lamenting that, you know, paper card game, the era of paper card games was kind of over, because like, no one wants to buy a paper card game when they could play the game out of their digital client. And I just kind of felt like the future of card games was going to be in digital, and so like, paper card games, which is my actual passion, there wasn't gonna be a good reason to play those anymore. But for some reason, over COVID, when everyone was separated away from each other, paper card games got really popular all of a sudden. Especially Pokemon, but also especially Commander and MTG. And then like suddenly there's this big market for paper card games and things like One Piece get to take off, and Lorcana. It's like everyone's like ready to drop a bunch of money on card games all of a sudden, and it was not what I was expecting. So it's kind of cool to see that they've survived, and I feel like League of Legends is trying to capitalize on that. They've seen that like people want to play Commander and whatever, and so they want to try to get a paper card game going. I have no expectations for their card game. It'll be good or it won't be good. I don't know. I probably won't try it because like Pokemon can be expensive to collect depending on what you're trying to collect, but because of that, it's incredibly cheap to play. If you want to play paper Pokemon, you know, most decks are going to cost you somewhere between $30 to $50, and then there are a couple outlier decks that start to approach $100, right? So like $100 is a budget deck in pretty much every other card game, right? Like every other card game, if your deck costs $100, it's a budget deck. It's like, wow, that only costs $100. But in Pokemon, those are the really expensive ones. So like, it's hard for me to consider investing in another expensive card game. So my friends and I are playing Commander. So that's like my pricey card game. And then I play Pokemon competitively because it's fun and it's like an IP that I love and it's dirt cheap, right? I could have every deck in Pokemon for the cost of some of these Lorcana decks. So what the reason I say all that is I'll try the League of Legends card game if it's Pokemon prices. If it's Lorcana prices, I'm not even gonna try it. I'm not interested. Yes, Martian, but saying that you have to pay $100 to play a game in the first place is quite a big jump for a lot of people. Personally, I wouldn't want to get into a game being told $100 entry fee. Sure. Like I was saying that Pokemon is the cheap one that you should play because it's cheap, because it's not $100. Like $100 is an expensive deck in Pokemon, and $30 is the average deck, like 30 to 50. I don't understand your point at all. And I'm like irrationally agitated by it because I feel like you've missed my point, which is that Pokemon is reasonably priced and decks where $100 is a cheap deck is too expensive to want to play. I feel like you're agreeing with me. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh is like really expensive, right? Like, isn't that thousands of dollars to play? It's crazy. Does this deck contain 1 regular Mewtwo and 2 EX? It does. It does. 2025 Hollow Knight Silk Song coming soon. Those are words. I haven't played Hollow Knight, but I really should. League TCG will be a Lorcana expensive? I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to try out a Lorcana expensive game. I would try out a Pokemon expensive game. But I'm not going to try out, like, I know that I want to play Lorcana, and I know that I don't want to spend $300 on a deck, right? So I already know I'm not going to play a card game that asks me to pay hundreds of dollars. I'll rephrase. I wouldn't want to try games like Yu-Gi-Oh because of how expensive they would be. I typed it out and sent the message before you had finished what you were saying. I see. Yes, I mean, I agree. I don't want to, like, if I'm limited to one budget deck for $100 in a card game, I don't want to play that card game. That was my entire point. But Pokemon, that doesn't ask you to do that. You have like a ton of options that are like 30 to 50 bucks, and then there are a couple things that end up approaching 100, which is great because the reason that they pull that off is because a lot of people who buy Pokemon cards aren't buying to play. They're buying because they have a bunch of discretionary income and they want to find pretty artwork. Like they want to like collect really cool stuff. So you have a lot of people buying packs for that reason. And because so many people are chasing the rare cards, there's a bunch of like extra copies available as singles for people who just want to play the game. So if you get like the regular version of a card, it's really cheap to play Pokemon. Like the market is just flooded. Every once in a while, you'll have like an EX that costs $10 and you're like, wow, that's kind of expensive. But then like you look at Magic and, oh, it's only $10 for this card. I guess I'll pick it up. Well, I think my opponent has lost the video game. I'll say that much. Baby Zap, Baby Zap. Martian, did you play Skyrim? If so, do you prefer the Imperials or the Stormcloaks? I did not play Skyrim. I did not have whatever console was necessary to play it at the time. It was probably on PC too. But like, I found out about Skyrim after the hype for it had kind of died down. I didn't really pay attention to games like that when it first came out. And I know that like, it's had longevity past its peak, right? Like, a lot of people just love Skyrim and keep coming back to it, but and like do remasters and stuff. But I haven't tried it. Hooray! For what I hear, maybe the League of Legends TCG will be like Pokemon as their cards and a pretty alternative art that does exactly the same as the regular art. See, Lorcana has that too though, right? They just like, the rarities aren't spaced in the same way as Pokemon. And also, I don't think people open packs in the same way. Like, so in Pokemon, when you open a box, you're gonna get some fancy artwork. You're not gonna open a box and get no fancy artwork. You will be getting some. In Lorcana, you can open a box and get nothing. Like, you'll get cards, right? Like, you'll get like regular cards, but there's every chance that you won't see a single ultra rare card for boxes. So like, you know, that's Disney is not as strong of an IP as Pokemon, and Pokemon always gives you a little bit. If you spend money on a box, you will get some pretty stuff. You will get like something. There's enough pretty stuff that it takes you a lot of boxes to get a specific thing. So I feel like Disney having a weaker IP and making like the average box is going to disappoint you compared to the average Pokemon box being like, oh cool, I got this, you know. So I don't think it's the same. Well, the reason I bring that up, the Lorcana example, is because League of Legends could go one way, right? They're all card games these days do have regular artwork and some spicy artwork. I think they all do, and at least for the most part. I know Magic has really turned that up lately, but you can set it up so that it's always a fun experience like Pokemon, or you can set it up like super greedy and making it like annoying, sad, a bad investment to try and chase a card like Lorcana, right? So it just depends how they space it. Is 5 wins the max you can get? 5 wins is when you get the 5 wins emblem. So like, that's what we're chasing here. You can get more wins, you can keep playing, I imagine. Waiting for opponent to return, are they over it? Are they over it? They should be over it. What decks have you been playing anything other than Mew for this event? I tried Misty first, So I played the Articuno Starmie deck. I got 4 wins and then lost on the 5th one. And then I played Wheezing Wigglytuff, got 4 wins, lost on the 5th one. And so those were my off-stream attempts. Now I'm attempting to get there with Mewtwo. It stops keeping track, so being a troll is where it's at. I see, very good. You got to 4 wins twice too. Nice. AFK. Yeah, they do appear to be AFKing. At what point is it like your opponent left? Did they just close the app? It's weird that it like leaves me in this position for so long, right? Like, I have to wait so long for it to come back to my turn. Pikachu, easy 5 wins? I believe you. I think Pikachu is the least appealing deck for viewers to watch. So I probably won't try Pikachu on stream. But maybe I will play some Pikachu off stream if I feel like I need to win the event. I also think the Pikachu EX deck is fun. My turn, wow. Your opponent did not return within the allowed time. Sick. Wow. You went 5-0 at 1 AM when the event went live. Nice. All right, Easy Doo-Doo. Well, my opponent was Easy Doo-Doo. They lived up to their name. All right, let's find this. Let's get this final match. Can we win 5 in a row with Mewtwo? Or will we get Mew stewed? Why is Pikachu the worst for viewers? The same reason the best deck in the game is the worst for viewers to want to watch in most card games. They're just tired of playing against it, so they don't feel like watching it. Are people having a harder time on this event or the previous one? I think this event requires you to win a specific amount of times in a row. So it's like, it's not something you can just grind out, right? Like the last one was just time. If you spent the time to complete the event, you would get there, right? You could just keep playing and eventually you would complete the timer. It's just, did you devote enough time into the event to get the emblem? That's all the previous event checked, was the amount of time you were willing to spend on the game. It wasn't how good you were playing or anything like that. It was just, what? All right, it's that easy, chat. It wasn't the amount of time you would spend trying to achieve it. So the previous event was like 45 wins, right? Like if at 45 wins, you would get the final emblem. This event asks you to play well, right? So it asks you to play a good deck and it asks you to play it well, kind of, because you have to win 5 in a row. You can't just win an amount of time ever. You know, you can't win once, lose twice, and still complete it.